Let's Play Banished. Now, I just got home and I looked at my recordings folder and I was about to make this and I realized that I recorded in the wrong video stretch, I guess you could call it, because YouTube is very picky about that, and if you don't have it at the right stretch, it's not gonna match the screen and it's not gonna look good. So I had about 3 hours recorded. I had a nice town going, but sadly, we're gonna have to start again. We weren't too far into the game. We were about 7 years into the game. So I have figured out how to play this game for the most part. We're gonna go ahead and start a new town here. We're gonna call it Douche Game, because, you know, Douche Recorder. This game's awesome, but yeah, that happened, so I was very sad for that happening. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and record more. That's not gonna stop me. Yeah, and the viewport has to be on like a 1610 or something, and it keeps going up and up and up with the viewport for YouTube, and it's always gonna change, which is bad because videos that are put out old times with the correct viewports aren't going to be updated to get the new viewports. And I could actually, I need to turn down my volume to about a 37. There we go. Now you should be able to hear me perfectly. So anyways, here's my setup. You basically want to set up all these little markers and everything to a specific way, so that way you can see that everything that's going on in your town. And this is basically my setup. We're going to go for about 30-minute episodes here, and it should be a dandy time. Looks like we spawned near 2 lakes, so fishing might be a probability for food, but we're definitely going to have to build some bridges, probably get some logging set down in this corner over here, because this looks like a good corner. We could definitely get some logging done down over there. That'll be grand. That'll be fun. So, first thing, we're not going to actually set up farms, because in this, you need to immediately pump out food, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to pump out a huge field, as big as we can make it, 15 by 15, and then we'll pump out another smaller little field right there. And what does that need? Does that need the rock removed, or... Oh, it has a tree on it. Okay, we'll go ahead and take down that tree and increase the priority on that. But yeah, this is basically what we're going to see most of the game. We're going to keep this on either a 10 times or a 5 times for most of the game as well. So this right here should provide us with enough food. Actually, we could probably go ahead and get a second one of these. We'll probably end up removing that, but we'll set that one to corn. And we need to go ahead and assign 7 guys to go ahead and do that. In the meanwhile, we'll have the rest of the laborer douches clearing out a little area over here. And we're going to go ahead and bump up priority on the farms. Bump up priority, bump up priority. There we go. So those guys will get immediately farming on that. And usually you'll see me, the way I play is, on my journey of playing this game, I actually found out that if you do not harvest most of your stuff, automatically it doesn't start harvesting before early autumn or late spring, summer. It's probably not all gonna get harvested, and you'll probably save more of the yield actually just manually harvesting it before your time is up. So you'll see me do that a lot as well. Now, another thing that we're gonna need to build a second storage barn, just because the large amount of food that we're gonna have. We're gonna get tons and tons and tons of stockpiles of food, and that's actually a really good thing. We want that, but we're gonna... No, we can't build one there. Expand the stockpile a bit, because that'll fill up quickly. We do have a lot of people. So they will get to work cutting all those down. Now, foresters will be more for a steady income of wood. This is kind of just to clear down areas to get up housing and stuff like that. So we got an adult laborer ready to go ahead and start building houses. Now, I want to set up houses to be built right next to these farms, these starting farms right here. So we'll go ahead and get these built, even though we don't have the area cleared for them to actually be built. We'll just lay them down for right now, and these should be enough houses for that. Now, the next thing we want to lay down as well is the trading outpost. I realize that you really want to get this down quickly before all of your materials are kind of used up, because if they're already used up, you might be a bit screwed if you try to get one on later on when materials are dwindling, because I found out that later on in the game, I don't really put up a forester's lodge or anything like that early on in the game, so it kind of comes back to bite me a bit, in the sense that I don't have a steady income of wood, so fuel is pretty much going to eat up most of my wood, which is another thing we need to set down, is the wood crafters. See, I've got a whole thing planned out in my mind for this. We need a wood crafters thing, and we'll probably end up putting that right there. We might add another house. It looks like we can add another house there. We'll do that when the time comes. But we might actually get 100, yeah, I think we're going to get 100% yield on the first one, as you usually do. You should be getting 100% yield on that, and that should provide us with about 3,000 food. We're also going to raise our food cap straight up to about 7,000. Next thing we need to set down after all that stuff is a blacksmith. Now, if you don't get a blacksmith down, basically all your tools are going to go bad. And it's not going to be a good time for you or your villagers. It's going to be a very bad time if they don't have the tools that they need, or they don't have the clothing that they need. They can have clothing and cold houses and they'll still live. They just won't be as happy, and their health will go down tremendously if they do not have the clothes or fuel for their houses. So we definitely need to cater to that very quickly. So yeah, this game is a lot of fun, and we'll be posting a video of this once every 3 days or so, 30-minute videos, just for the sake of how much space this takes up, because what I use, I don't exactly have the fastest upload speed, which kind of sucks for me and kind of sucks for you as well, but sorry for that little cut there. I just had to make sure everything was running alright, because I kind of just rushed into this recording, but I do have everything set up. Thankfully. Wow, we actually got a little bit over 3,000 food, which is going to be very useful. Food is not exactly a good trading item. I think you need like 2,500 food just to get a new seed. And yeah, another thing about this game is once people are done with their jobs, primarily, mostly the farmers are going to do this. Once they're done with their jobs, they'll immediately go into labor working, which is going to be extremely good. It's actually a good thing that they're doing that. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. So, yeah, we got a pretty decent harvest of corn that year. We've got to make sure that we do prioritize these farms, although, or else, if they're doing laborer work, they will start a bit late, which might end up being a huge problem for us. So we do have to keep an eye on prioritizing the crop fields, because that can get a bit out of hand. So we'll set that up. Set up a bunch of fields. That actually this should be enough fields to get us through most of the game. We probably won't have to expand this too much. We can add another house over there. Let's see. We need a tailor, so we'll make one up there. And we'll also set down for a school. Where's a school? Now, you need schools because your people will be a ton more efficient if you build schools and you have a teacher. They will be so much more efficient if you just do that. It makes them a lot more efficient. And winner's here! Our first winner. Look at our villagers build. They're putting up houses. That woodcutter needs to get up quickly because all of the firewood that we start out with is pretty much going to go bad after only a short amount of time during winter. We can actually make a small little stockpile back here. We need stockpiles. We need somewhere to store our crap, so we can also make another one over here since there's excess space. There we go. So once their foundations are laid, that means that they can start building the houses, and the builders will get right on that. We've actually got a lot of farmers now. We need to prioritize these getting done, though. So these farms need to really get done. So we'll prioritize those. Those will probably end up getting done next. Firewood is low. Yeah, they're gonna have to go without firewood for the first winter, which isn't a good thing, by the way. 4 people still don't have a house, but that should get taken care of pretty quickly. So we'll now set these to corn and squash, and we probably don't actually need to set this many. This is actually, can we... Yeah, we don't need to set this many. Yeah, we don't have enough farmers for that. Actually, we might. We'll have enough farmers for 12 of them, which means we'll have to cut down... I don't know, I don't like cutting down because I might forget to add it back later. And I don't know if 2 people can handle that, so hopefully they can. It's an adult and working as labor. So there we go. We have enough people to fill all of the freaking crop jobs that we need. We'll actually set that one up again because we're going to need someone to attend to that. Next thing, we want to prioritize these houses getting built. We want to prioritize that. We want to prioritize basically that as well. That's all ready to be built. We just need that to be built by our 3 builders early spring. So now we can go ahead and set up the farming. There we go. Now everybody should get to work farming. We're down to 1,000 pieces of corn. The squash, I believe, takes a bit longer to grow, so we might not be able to get a full yield on that, depending on how fast these guys work. But, yeah, we also have a blacksmith. We're going to need... The next person who becomes an adult is going to go straight into blacksmithing, making tools. We don't exactly need a tailor. We don't need it. People should be pretty fine if we get them steady fuel without clothing. Their health is going to plummet down to about 1 health bar, which isn't good. They'll still live to about 50 years old, but yeah, that's gonna go down a lot. It should bring the happiness down if they don't have clothing, but it's not essential. Tools are kind of an essential thing. Without tools, your harvest is pretty much not gonna get 80-90% more of yield, so that will go badly if you don't have tools. Oh, we actually have Rochelle just became an adult, so we will assign her to blacksmithing. She'll immediately go up and start working until we get 50 tools. Although I don't think she doesn't have enough iron to get working on that. We need to set the deconstruction of all the raw materials down there. Yeah, so we should get another plentiful yield this season. This one's doing a little bit bad because it's undermanned by a person. But yeah, usually by towards the end of summer, late summer, I usually just end up saying, alright, record it. Oh no! Honora, the first person to die. She has died during childbirth. But she did have someone to replace her. We need to subtract a builder so that way we'll have at least 1 person working over here. Because we do need someone to gather that iron to go ahead and make tools. Because once again, tools are very vital. So everything is going great. Okay, we actually need food. As you can see, why I made the new farms. We need it. Hopefully, I don't starve too much and bring our health down too badly. So yeah, as you can see, the squash doesn't really grow as much. But that could also be that we really didn't have enough people working on either of those. So, that could also be why. But we do have someone working on tools. They are making tools. Which is going to use up most of our iron. Although someone needs to get the stone. We need one more stone for that. Let's go ahead and remove everything over here. All this stuff. Actually, I could have left it a little bit longer. I could have let these fields get up to 100%, but I get a little worried about not having enough, and about half of it can go if you don't harvest it early enough, and I really hope we get most of this done. Okay, let's fill the extra one, because we need to get this. We need to get this. Oh, God. Yep. 3,000? That didn't last us last time, so... Oh, she's still gathering the squashes. Get the squash. Get the squash. The squash is still there. Oh, wow. Can the squash can actually survive into autumn. Okay, now they're all dying. Yep. Alright. So we will have to keep that in mind. 3,000 food. Not sure how well that's going to be. We do have a bit many people. So oh, I just love watching the... Oh, an adult. We have to have another land borrower, which he will be a farmer. I need to set these to corn so they actually grow fully. Sorry, guys, you're on a one food diet. You're only gonna have corn until we can get venison. But that's the way it's gonna have to be. Sorry. That's just the way it has to be. At least until we get, you know, situated. Oh yeah, another thing. These guys seem to like eating raw wheat. They don't like to cook it. It just counts as a grain. When you harvest it, it counts as grain. And they kind of just, they don't do anything to it. They just kind of eat it. I don't know how that works, but that's how it works. Kind of worries me a bit. So we do need a teacher. We will go ahead and assign a teacher. Now, our children will now start being educated. We can also upgrade these to stone houses, which we will end up doing. She's running out of iron. We have a ton of wood. Oh, spring. Get working. Yeah, once we get up to, I want to have about as many kids, or 3/4 as many kids as I do adults, at least in the beginning 10 years, so that way I'll know they'll actually populate to get enough. Because if you don't have enough children, you'll end up with a bunch of elders, and that could be very bad. But it should be very easy to control, so we shouldn't have too much of a problem. We need to raise the resource limit to about 600, because foresters will not work, and we can also raise that. This down here is actually going to become partly a stockpile storage area. That right down there. Although we probably don't need that much. That should be good to last us quite a long time. So the cornfields are doing great. That actually should be a full harvest, or at least a 90% harvest for everything. We've got a full farmer workforce, so... we have excess stone. We have 2 builders. What are the builders working on? Oh, we need a... We're gonna have to take away a builder and put him into wood cutting. Fuel limit 300. You need to stockpile a lot of fuel. Excuse me. You need to stockpile a lot of fuel because during the winter, it's basically gonna get eaten up, and the woodcutter's not gonna be able to pump them out fast enough to get it to them in the winter. At least if you have one woodcutter, he won't be able to, so you want to have a bit of a stockpile of that. Not too much, but just a bit. How many students? We don't have any students yet, but we also need some traders. About 2 or 3 should work, and we're going to go ahead and store some corn in here. About 500 for now, and we will purchase when the merchant arrives. We need to purchase clothing, so I think that we should be able to get 10 clothing, I think. And they should buy that when the merchant arrives. And when we put a trader in, they should move the goods over there. We only need about 2 in the beginning. So, okay. Harvest. 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 Hopefully we'll get most of that. I don't know. Late summer seems a bit too far. Because it all depends upon the temperature, I'm pretty sure, to when it will start actually destroying my crops, because it'll get cold and then the rain will come, but I don't know, maybe they'll really hustle for me. Yeah, these guys might actually need more workers, but I mean, 3,000 food should last us, and then the rest is just basically excess. We don't need any more. 3,000 really should be enough for our current population, although we do have a ton of freaking babies. We got babies! 46 degrees, it's dropping. You guys better hurry up on that corn, will ya? They're gonna start logging and everything over there. Yeah, we got most of it. I'm happy with that. 4,500 food. I'm happy with it. Not bad, not bad. Why is no one working? Yeah, there you go. Harvest that. Harvest it. Harvest it. No! So yeah, this is basically the game. I mean, it's tons of fun, actually. If you haven't played it, I recommend you do. It's only, yeah, another thing that could be very bad is cholera. I hope I'm saying that right, but cholera will sort of, I hope, I don't know if the cemetery actually makes your people sad if they walk by it, but cholera can basically come into your village. It will mostly wipe out the young and the children, and it can take out adults too, but it will mostly just wipe out every single child in your village. Why do I keep saying but yeah, it'll wipe out every single child in your village? That's not good. That's not good. You should get the children back relatively quickly, although, so not too bad. Children, these guys are like stir crazy when it comes to sorry. I just, you know, things come into my mind, but yeah, they should make the babies back pretty quickly, but I mean, that can happen. It's happened to me very early on in the game before. It doesn't happen too often, or it doesn't seem to happen too often, so I shouldn't have to worry about it. But we just have to keep out for diseases, because those can completely wipe you out if you do not have, I'm not sure how to get the stored medicine. The stored medicine is a mystery. It's a pretty big mystery to me. I'm not sure how that works. Medicine. Yeah, I think my friend told me that you need a herb lore or something like that. You need a herbalist. I keep saying herb lore because that's what they call it in Dwarf Fortress, but they're the same thing anyways. So, we do need a herbalist to get medicine, I believe, is what he was telling me, so. Don't lie to me! My friends always lie to me, and it's not nice. Get work farming, you pretty pansies. We can actually fill up 3 more houses. We'll eventually be connecting dirt roads and then even stone roads through all of this. Just completely roads through all of the housing, going around the fields. We can actually put up dirt ones right now. Dirt ones don't cost anything. It'll make them run a bit faster. The stone ones really, really help out. By the way, if you have any tips for this game and something that I'm doing wrong, feel free to yell at me because I'm still relatively new to this. So feel free to yell at me. But don't be too mean. Don't be too mean. There we go. There's a little bit of a crunch in the road there, but I think they should be fine. So 7 students, 18 villagers. It's doing great. 23 tools. Our tools are looking pretty well. So yeah, this is how my towns end up pretty much looking. Because you need the farms right here in the beginning to get a full yield to make it through the first winter. So you need that there. I usually just end up building, you know, the houses just like this around everything. Putting the farms in the middle and center of everything along with the stockpiles. Seems to work pretty decently. We do need to set up a forester, which is pretty... It's actually really important in this game. Really, really important. We probably need 2 of them. We need to prioritize that thing for our builders and stuff, because that needs to get done. That's really important. Wow, we actually have a really good harvest then. Well, that's amazing. Actually, I probably could have left those on for a bit longer. Don't know why I do that. Do not know why I do that, but better safe than sorry. Then these guys should get working on laboring. Yeah, we'll probably bridge this area, bridge this whole area right here, and just continue to build housing around this one lake. We'll use the other areas, primarily down here, for quarries and logging, stuff like that. The loggers are really good, though, because they'll actually replant everything, so... But yeah, I think that's the end of this episode. I'll see you guys in the next one. If you're liking this, I also play other games, roguelikes, Unreal World RPG, just random stupid games in general. If that's your kind of thing, go ahead and check out my channel. Make a like, comment, subscribe, everything. If you guys like my content and you want more, you can actually follow me on Facebook, and I instantly update all of my videos to Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, you're chatting to somebody special, and you want to check if I have a video up, you can go ahead and check me out on Facebook. I'll see you guys in the next one. It's been a lot of fun. This game is amazing. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!